I just am so thrilled that that you are here, and take it away, Jeff.
We're going to do 3 stories at some length, and then we're going to do a 4th story if you have time. The story, it comes from China. From where?
China.
It begins with a judge. Now, judges in the ancient days in China had a hat that went up and it went on his head. It had long wings that went out.
Long wings that went out.
And Judge Chien was very wise. He had a long beard because he had been a long, wise, bearded judge since anyone could remember. When I go like that, you go, shung, shung, shung. Judge Chien opened the doors to the courthouse. Yes. Let's see your face. There were 100 people. Their hands were bound. They were bowing their head. Guard, what are these people doing in my courtroom? I'm changing my position. Well, there, you know, the big house that has all the big expensive stuff. Well, the big vase was taken. The big vase was taken. We didn't know who took it. So we got the maids, we got the servants, we got the men, the guys who was working on the walls. We got everybody together. We put them all here. You got to figure out who's the thief. Oh. I don't hear you. Now, the judge, he had a kind of an old voice. Have each of them tell me a story. It went on for 2 hours, and the judge said, wait, this isn't working. But on the top of the mountain, there is a temple. In the temple, there is a bell. Bring the bell down the mountain and put it in the courtyard outside of the courthouse. And tomorrow, the bell will tell us who is the thief. Court is adjourned. Take them all to jail. See you tomorrow. All of you go, who? Wow. The bell is going to tell him who's the thief? I don't believe it. I don't know who it is. How can that work? I don't understand. Everybody. Next day, the door opened to the courthouse. He walked down the steps and sat on the big chair of honor. There were the 100 accused. All around were the people of the village. The bell was in the center of the square with a curtain around it. Each of the 100 will come up, reach through the curtain, touch the bell, and tell their story briefly, and then go sit down. The bell will ring when the thief touches it. Proceed. It took a long time. It took all afternoon. But the bell never rang after all 100 of them took their turn. I think the judge is nuts. I think he's losing it. How can a bell talk? I think everybody. Finally, the judge. All of you accused of being the thief, raise your hands above your head. Take down the curtain. When the bell was put in the square, as I had prescribed, fires were lit, soot touched the bell, ash covered it, so that every hand that touched it has ash. Look at the hands. There's only one set of hands that has no ash. Return the vase, and we will spend less time with you in jail. Court adjourned. Ho, everyone. Ho. 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 The bell was returned up the hill inside of the temple. it did have magical power. But the real magical power was inside the hat of the judge, Chien, who knew human nature.
That was fun.
The next part says, teach the group. I've got 15 minutes and we're counting. So I'm going to do it like this. You can do this part, right? If you notice this story, I truncated it. I moved it together, right? I gave a gesture for Judge Chien, right? You say, or nod your head, right? And that would be a part they could repeat. There's doors that open. You'll notice that a three-dimensional performance space is now a two-dimensional plane. It's a rectangle, right?
Yes.
And that there's more space left and right than there is top to bottom. So I'm always trying to figure out how do you compress 3 dimensions into 2 dimensions, especially when there's not much top and bottom. So you've got to use these spaces on the side, right?
Yes.
What's great about Zoom is you've got an eye up here, that little green ball, and then you've got just a little underneath it, you've got this, so you can see actually pretty easily what you look like, right? So you can compose as you're playing, both the power of looking right into the eyes of your listener, which is a very powerful position, and checking just a glance down below it to see how you fill the frame and to compose yourself in it. We're going to play with that over and over and over and over again because our theater is now that big.
Right.
Now, for this one, so we open out the frame and there's the 100 people. I'm using the bottom of the frame, right? You can just do it with me, but I'll just keep talking. Okay, so we've got Judge Chien. 100 people. What are they doing here? In the narratives, it never began that way. I threw us right into the action because it's more fun. Oh, I just kind of go to the side. Well, I don't know, this guy, you know, the vase, the big vase in the big house. We don't care what the name of it is. It's never given. Okay, whatever. Big house, big vase, all gone. Who did we get? We got all the guys. We got them. I brought them here. You got to solve the problem. So now we have the problem of the story, right?
Right.
So then, here's the story. It's boring. Stop, can't do it. So then there's the hill. There's the house. Inside of the temple is how do you make a bell shape? I don't know. I just kind of make bell or bell or bell. You know, it doesn't, I don't know, just whatever works. And then it goes down the hill into the square. And tomorrow, the key, you can't forget it. Tomorrow, the bell will tell us who is the thief. Court adjourned. Right? And I'm closing it in from the sides, right? I'm closing the door. Visually, that communicates. Oh, and then I basically fill that in. Oh, what's going to happen? I don't know. Who is it? You guys do that right now. Go left and right. And who's going to do it? No. Oh, I don't know. Now, another thing you can do to change the zoom frame is move back and move forward. When I come forward, it's very intimate. When I go back, I have a lot more room up above and on the sides, right? Right?
Yes.
So you can play with that over and over. I have a Mac and I use Photo Booth. It's at the bottom. It's like an option. So you can play and create and watch. You can record yourself or just do it in front of the thing and see how it looks. You guys go, good idea. I'm going to grab that. Reach up to the screen, grab that and put it in your pocket as a good idea. Practice on Photo Booth. So, okay, the next day, keep me on time. Don't let me talk forever. He goes down, sits on the chair. And now I'm describing the bell is there, but it's covered. We don't know why. He explains. Walk up to the thing. Walk up, tell your story, touch the bell. The bell will ring if you're the thief. We know that, right? So they all do it. It takes a long time. It's boring. Then at the end, nothing rang. I don't know what's going on. I back up. Who's the thief? What's going to happen? Now hold your hands up above your head, everyone. The 500. I back up. If you can't see it like this, that doesn't mean anything, does it?
No.
Right.
It's not very good. You got to back up. If you can't back up and you're in one of those chairs that's riveted to the floor, then you can only go up like that. We got to see the hands, right? Right?
Right.
Look, everyone that's touched it. I had the ash, the fire in the narrative you sent me, Linda, and the other ones you guys have studied. That fire was put in earlier. I wanted to make it a reveal, so it's more of a surprise.
Right.
Oh, wow, he put all the soot and everything, and then he touched it, and it would be on the hands. I see. There's only one hand, and I choose where I'm going to point. I could have chosen down here. I could have chosen up there. No, they're on the ground, and I'm above them, so I got to put goes down because placement. We talk about placement in storytelling as placing people in space in relation to each other, so you don't have to say he said, she said, hi. I think you're cute. I know, because I'm over here, and I'm over here, right? That's placement. You guys say placement.
Placement.
Why would I be asking you to repeat phrases?
So we remember them.
Interaction.
Stay alert.
Do you know the old Zen saying? I hear and forget.
Mm.
I see, I understand.
Mm.
I do, and I know. If you want kids to be engaged, don't talk to them. Show them, and then let them do stuff. Oh, big idea. I think I'll put that in my pocket and change my tours forever so that the kids never want to go anywhere but to the Asian Museum for those stories. No kidding. So I had the guy over here. Now I could use this hand, or I could use this hand. You got to decide. But I use this hand because it's more face. You did it. You obviously returned the vase, and I don't care about your prison. You know, that's up to the other guy. I'm a judge. And never mind. Story's over. And we're going to take the bell back up the hill. We're going to put it inside. It was a magical bell, but the most magical part was the mind of, I back up again because I need the space. But the most magical part was, Judge Chien, who knew human nature. That's the line that you go, oh, that's so smart. Knew human nature.
Oh, that's so sweet.
You all got A+ for effort.
Yeah.
I really liked how you sort of cut to the chase, how you cut out some of the boring stuff. You cut up the setup of the bell. It just made the story for me much more dynamic. Although it's a little hard for us if we have it in our head to tell it another way, how to relearn to tell it.
So each time you mention the judge, you give the hat and beard and deep voice.
If I can remember.
Good.
But you know, another thing is what we came up with Lori, and watch this. I back up because I don't have headroom, so I'm backing up now. And when the hat goes on, it's not like a waffle. It's not like a water. You know, it's got to like sit, and then have wings. So it, like, you know.
Oh.
So it's not like spaghetti. You know.
So Jeff, are you sitting in a rolling chair? Is that how you're moving
No,
back and forth?
I'm on a bench. I'm actually in a bench that's lateral. It's running like that, so I can slide up and down it with my legs and keep my hands. It works for me. Other people are standing up. That's another way, because then you can move more carefully back and forth. But I find it's like in cinema where they zoom in on, you know, from a real close-up shot, and then you move it back. And you can get some amazing dynamics in how you move.
So I especially liked the movement of the bell coming down the steps. And also I thought we could throw out a question to see what the kids will come up with and how they're going to detect the thief. So, but I loved the animation and I'm going to use it in my story. Thank you, Jeff.
Jeff, I loved your use of your hands. You know, I think
Yeah.
of doing props, but your hands created the props. We didn't need the, you know, and, you know, opening and closing the door. And
Yeah.
those were great.
Let's all do
moves.
that, because that came up in ours a lot more. If you move the hands close when you open them, try and open them in the frame. Try and open them in the frame and then pull them back. And now shut them. If they're out here, you can't see it.
That's right. Yeah.
And if they're like shut the door, it's kind of wimpy. So that's a cheap trick, right?
It's great.
By the way, you're going to have a lot of fun if you spend another hour after this is over or in the next few days playing with the photo booth or just looking on Zoom and watching yourself, because you'll find solutions. You'll find better lighting. You'll start to say, what's the background like? Can everyone look at Lori? And she looks great, but she's not extremely well lit. You'd want to bring more light onto her face. I've got a clamp light. It's very expensive material. And I clamp it right on the corner of a lifted table. And I have another lamp. I don't know if I can show you, but it's like a lamp that you read by. But it's right off the camera so that I have good light right on my face, which is why that's why I look so exceptional. Here's another trick. This is it plugs into the wall.
What is that?
And when you hit it,
Oh.
it's a LED light, very powerful. So if I put it in my
You need to
magic
wrap
box,
up the section.
let's have a hand for keeping on time.
Yay!